Hey everybody, it's Exus Master X. Welcome back to another episode of Pokemon LeafGreen. In the last episode I beat the rival and went to Verdant Forest. In this episode, I'm going to take on Brock, but first, wouldn't it be great if we could catch Pikachu? So yeah, like I said, this thing's kind of rare, so I think it has like a 5% maybe chance for berry, so it's not super rare. It's just like, it'll take you a few minutes. Okay, good, that seems to be a good way of weakening it. Once your Pokemon get like really high level over the wild Pokemon, if you want to catch one, your best bet is to either use a lower level Pokemon or use not very effective moves. Like, you know, Peck. The fact that Pikachu used Growl helps. And, okay. Although be wary of getting critical hits, because that has ruined many wild encounter. Dang it. That wasn't even close. Okay, so yeah, off screen I caught the Caterpie and Weedle and their evolutions. And now I want to catch Pikachu, but it's not making it easy for me. That's not what I want to do. What's going on here? Okay, for some reason, I somehow clicked away from the emulator. Come on, get in the ball. There we go. In this game, and in Pokemon Emerald, there's a nice little animation that plays whenever you catch the Pokemon. Which is always nice, because you're always like sitting on the edge of your chair, wondering if you'll catch or not. And sometimes, with Ruby and Sapphire not having that animation, it can be a little bit ambiguous. What should I nickname this thing? I didn't have this planned ahead at all. I will be uncreative. I should have named it Emerio, because that would have made more sense. Because then it would have been Emerio del Bosque Verde. Alright, now time to heal up my Pokemon, and we're going to take that gym. Now, like I said in the last episode, I'm pretty much just going to be using Pikachu. I'm not going to be using Pikachu at all, actually. I'm pretty much just going to be using Bulbasaur for this gym, because that's all you really need. Unless we'll add in something stupid, so I have a 6th slot in my team. Because for a while I'm probably going to only have 4 team members. Now it's interesting to note that no matter what town you go to, the Pokemon Center always has the same lady behind the counter. And there's a lot of theories behind this. I think, like, the actual reason is they're just all, like, identical sisters. That makes no sense, but I'll go with it. Like, someone out there had, like, octuplets who all looked exactly the same, and they all decided to be nurses. Except it had to be even more than octuplets, but I don't know what I'd call that, so... Stop right there, kid! You're 10,000 light years from facing Brock. Actually, I'm 3 tiles from him. Because, while he realizes after the battle, light years actually measures distance, not time. You know, he's thinking, but it's a light year. Yeah, but it's supposed to be the amount of distance. The distance traveled by the speed of light in a year. because if light traveled for a year, it'd just be the same as anything else traveling a year. It just... So yeah. And now that he has learned his lesson about saying light years as a measurement of time, that's just a weird thing to say anyway. Alright, and here's where Bulbasaur learns a whole bunch of moves at once. First of all, it learns Poison Powder. I think I'm good, since Leech Seed does the same thing and restores my health. Sleep Powder is extremely useful. In fact, it would have been useful for catching Pikachu just then. And the last thing it learns is Stun Spore, which is pretty decent, but actually no, it doesn't learn Stun Spore, never mind, I'm a liar. Yeah, thank you for realizing that. Do I need to go heal before the battle? No, I don't think so. Anyways, one thing about the previous videos that's been bothering me is that the recording would often stutter a little bit, like it'd zoom ahead and stop at a later frame, and then start playing again normally when it gets to that. Now, I've done something which I hope will fix that, but I don't actually know. This is the only thing I could find that might do it. I made the emulator window smaller. Hopefully this doesn't decrease the quality, but I guess I'll find out. This video is the guinea pig video from, like these early videos will be, while I try to get everything properly set up. Since Bulbasaur and Squirtle have same type of attack bonus moves that are 4 times super effective against both of Brock's Pokemon, this will probably be a pretty easy fight if you chose one of those two, because they usually die in one hit if your starter is high level enough. Hold on a second, I'll be... Okay, I don't know if you saw anything there, but now my Bulbasaur is level 16. And any fitter in the series knows what that means. One of the most famous features of Pokemon is that when your Pokemon reach a certain level, or perhaps fulfill a certain requirement. By the way, Brock is like the only gym leader who ever gives you the Boulder, his badge, in the middle of the battle, or the end of the battle, or while you're still on the battle screen, rather than afterwards. But like I was saying, when the Pokemon meet a certain requirement, usually a level, they will evolve and become more powerful, and also look slightly different. Now, despite the fact that it's called Pokemon Evolution, it's not really evolution as much as it is metamorphosis. Because it's just kind of an instant change. And most starters evolve at level 16, although Gen 2s and Gen 5 starters, and maybe Gen 6s, I'm not sure, don't evolve at quite the same set levels. In fact, Bulbasaur Ivysaur evolves at level 32 into its final form, whereas the other starters evolve at level 36. So there's some variation, but if you don't have no idea when your starter is going to evolve, you can guess that it'll evolve at level 16 and then level 36. And we received TM39, which it contains Rock Tomb. And it does not contain Tombstony, and Tombstony is not a move, despite what my friends in elementary school told me. Now, I don't think anything in my party can learn Rock Tomb except for Mankey. So I could teach Mankey Rock Tomb. Rock and Fighting, or Rock and Ground, are quite good combinations. But I'll hold off for now, and see what I have planned for my team, and decide if I don't want to teach it to something else. I'm gonna reshuffle my party around. Now, sometimes, if you want to use a new team member you just caught, it might be a lot lower level than the trainers that are in the area. So, there's the beloved method of raising these without... Because unable to raise your Pokemon, you're gonna have to send them into battle, obviously. But if they're just way too low level to possibly win, you're gonna have to send them in and immediately switch them out. And it looks like that's what I'm doing to Pikachu, to raise them up to level. Well, it's a her. Wait, that's it. Another Pokemon I caught was a girl. Has anything I've caught not been a girl yet? I mean, whatever, I'll check later. But now we move on to Route 3. If you don't want to run back to the Pokemon Center every... Whatever. My house is haunted. Anyways, if you don't want to run back to the Pokemon Center every few seconds, you might want to buy some antidotes at the Pokemart, because your Pokemon have a decent likelihood of getting poisoned. Although Bulbasaur, being a poison type itself, is in no danger of this. It's one of the reasons why Boulder is pretty cool. And let's see if Pikachu can take this. I'm just gonna switch it after this one. Okay, could be too risky. The RNG might mess me up. That was a lot of noise. Anyways, if you didn't know, the damage that is done to your Pokemon is usually just decided by a random number generator in the game's code, which is shortened to RNG usually when you hear people talking about it. Now, is the reason that the fact that this exists is the reason that, say, a move that does 9 damage in one turn does 10 on the next. This leads to some rather interesting situations, and makes the game a bit more luck-based than it usually would be. I don't know why I'm attacking this thing, I should be switching it out. Yeah, just switch your low-level Pokemon in every time a Pokemon comes out so you can get experience for that. Or, later in the game, you get an item called the Experience Point Share, which basically does the same thing, and it makes it a lot easier, because you don't have to manually switch it in and out. I'm not sure if I should have this thing out against Pidgey, since Pidgey has a super effective miss against it. So never mind. Also, Pidgey 2 things an attack, which can cause a lot of problems. So hopefully it... Okay, good. Now, Pidgey I know does, but I don't know about Spearow. But a lot of early flying type Pokemon tend to have the ability Keen Eye, which means that they can't have their accuracy lowered, which is, you know, decently useful, in the game at least. And yes, the first of many trainers who will call me a meanie for not letting them win. Hey, I saw you in Viridian Forest. I'm not entirely sure if this guy's telling the truth or not. I wasn't really paying attention, but I don't remember if we saw anyone named Colton in the woods or not. I'll go back and check, I guess, to see if this guy is for real or if he's fake. He has a Caterpie, so nothing too big. Caterpie actually should be a Butterfree by now. The trainers in this game, well, any game, have an annoying habit of keeping their Pokemon, like, unevolved at a level that they should have already evolved. And I can't really figure this out. Because it's always bugged me. Now, from a development standpoint, it makes the game, like, not quite as hard as it would be. And it's Yellow Tailwood. From an in-universe perspective, you could just say that the trainers, like, aren't really serious about, like, battling. In that they just don't want their Pokemon to look different. Like, for example, Yellow from the manga, who this Pikachu is named after. Whenever his Rattata evolved, Blue is all like, oh good, your Rattata evolved, now it'll be stronger. And Yellow was all like, oh man, it looks different, I can't believe this. He was like all upset over it. So that could be a reason. Maybe just every trainer in the world is like that. After all, Pokemon are usually seen more as pets from an in-universe perspective. Oops. Okay, there, I fixed it. And as you see, my Spearow has managed to get poisoned. Like I said, that happens a lot. I forgot to switch in Pikachu, dang it. Actually, one thing nice is, if you find... Stop doing that! If you find a Kakuna or Metapod, you can battle it no matter what you have out, although it'll probably take a while if it's a physical attacker. Just because it can't use anything except for Harden, so your Pokemon's at no danger of fainting. Because if your Pokemon faints, it can't gain any experience from the battle it's just in, so that's no good. Yeah, you just lower my speed, see how much good it does you in the end. You're already faster than me, what are you doing? Oh, trainers in the game. I sometimes just... You beat me again. Yeah, I'm still not so sure if I really saw him before. Okay, as you see, poison is an interesting status effect, because whenever you walk in the overworld and you have a poison Pokemon, they'll slowly actually take damage while you're... Oh gosh. This thing is about... See, this thing is about to faint. And if you take enough steps, every time the little squiggly lines appear, that means that it's taken one hit point. It faints once it runs out of HP, just like in the battles. There are a number of glitches that involve this in the original games, but I think they fixed that with the newer games. Alright, I guess I'll stop recording for today and finish up. Was it Route 3? I think it was Route 3 tomorrow. So, next time on Pokemon LeafGreen, I just said what we're doing. See you guys then.